So for our milk cake, the first step is to take 400 grams of all-purpose flour, and then into this we will add in 16 grams of baking powder. Next, add in 1 teaspoon of salt and give it a quick whisk to combine everything together. Once that is done, you can set it aside and we can move on to our pistachios. So we're going to take about 60 grams of pistachios and blitz them into a smooth powder. Then we're going to add them into a large mixing bowl, and into this we're going to add in 200 grams of granulated sugar, a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cardamom powder, and then a tablespoon of rose water. Finally, add in 200 milliliters of a flavorless oil, something like avocado or vegetable oil, and add in 400 milliliters of milk. Give the entire mixture a nice whisk to combine all of the wet ingredients together. Once everything is combined, we're going to sift in our dry ingredients from earlier. This is going to ensure that our batter is smooth and free of any clumps. Whisk until well combined, and then we're going to take a large greased baking dish and pour in our batter. Give it a gentle shake to allow the batter to settle into the pan and to create a smoother surface. We're going to bake out the cake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes, or until a toothpick goes in and comes out clean. Once your cake is done, take it out of the oven and allow it to cool down. In the meantime, let's make our milk mixture that we're going to pour over our cooled cake. So into a saucepan, add in a quarter cup of milk, 12 ounces of evaporated milk, and 14 ounces of condensed milk. Give it a quick stir and then cook over low to medium heat until well combined and it starts to thicken up a bit. Into our milk mixture, we're also going to add in a tablespoon of rose water and a pinch of saffron. Give it another mix and cook for about 5 minutes or so and then allow it to cool down. Once that is done, take your cooled cake and using a toothpick or a chopstick, poke a bunch of holes all over your cake, and then take your cooled down milk mixture from earlier and pour it over the cake into the holes. Allow the cake to absorb the liquid before pouring more. Once that is done, you can place the entire pan into the fridge to cool down further. While that cools, let's make our homemade whipped cream. So take 450 milliliters of heavy whipping cream and whisk until soft peaks begin to form. Then into this, we're going to add in 40 grams of powdered sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Whisk again until you get stiff peaks and your whipped cream is ready. You can take your cake out of the fridge and start spreading your whipped cream over your cake. The best thing about this recipe is no matter what your cake looks like on top, it doesn't really matter because the whipped cream is going to cover it up anyways. So it's fine if your cake doesn't look super pretty when you took it out of the fridge or took it out of the oven, because the whipped cream is going to cover up a world of hurt. Finally, top your cake with some chopped pistachios, and there you have it, guys. Our saffron pistachio milk cake is ready. I'd recommend leaving it in the fridge overnight because it's only going to get better as the cake has more time to absorb all of that milk that we've poured into it, as well as it gets cold, it should taste a lot better. So usually this recipe is perfect if you make it the day before because it's going to turn out even better. But here is our final dish. Enjoy!